In a wide-ranging exclusive with Bloomberg's Erik Schatzker, Bank of America Chief Executive. Brian Moynihan discussed Harvey relief efforts, Warren Buffett's stake in his bank and current business conditions. He also shared this assessment of regulatory reforms taking place in Washington.
It would be good. I don't have a number for you, but it would be good. And it would be good for society and good for America and good for rules. If you think about, there's 3 or 4 things that are important what's going on, right?
What's specifically important to you in this company?
Number one, the leadership of the agencies, there's been proposed people, they've got to get through Congress. Second was rules that were going on that now have been pulled back or rethought. Then there's rules that have to be changed, and then there's actually legislation. So if you look across all those, what the Secretary did is get input from investors, from analysts, from the companies, from advocates, from professors, and said, here's a set of principles we got to fix. The key ones for us would be capital, liquidity requirements, some of the technical rules there, some technical rules in capital, and allowing us more access to our capital account when we have $20 billion excess after the stress test again. Let us go out and put that back in the market so somebody else can use the capital because we don't need it to grow. Those are the most important things for us: is capital, liquidity, and things like that. To other people, it might be something
Trading
different.
book oversight.
It's a lot of that. Volcker is just too complex. Volcker's too complex. By everybody's admission. The question is, what was the principles you're trying to stop, and can you make it a more straightforward execution? That's probably a good idea, because right now you have 5 or 6 agencies working on it, different sets of principles, and they all know that it's too complex. The question is, how are we going to go about it? And he's proposed, let's try to make it simpler. Now we've got to figure out what we mean by that, and yet keep the principles in place. We don't have proprietary trading. That's what we're not supposed to do, and we're not doing it. The question is, how many times do I have to just prove it? That's where it gets a little tricky.
As you probably know, I'm sure you know, in fact, the buy side is beginning to freak out about these new European financial rules known as MiFID II. How big a deal is it for BofA?
It's a rule change, like all these rule changes. There's one going on all the time, but it costs us money to implement it and things like that. But if you really think about it, we have the #1 research platform in the world, I think 6 years in a row. And I'm sure that people will pay us for that.
Are they going to pay $80,000 a year?
I assume they will, because that's how they're going to have to get it. So the problem is, so I think with our customers and clients that do tens of millions of dollars of volume with this stuff, this kind of, to me, it's not been the biggest issue I've been worried about. I'm more worried about what's going on in the hurricane. I'm more worried about what's going on in other things. And Candace and team work it out, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's disruptive. I'm not sure we agree with all of it, but at the end of the day, it's the rules of the road. You put them in, you go on with life, and people will adjust to it.